Hey kids! Welcome to another day of Sunday school. Did you miss me? I'm sure you miss me. Do you remember me? You see this face? I think you do. So anyways, how have you been doing, kids? I hope you've been doing fine. I had an awesome week. I was on a small holiday and I just stayed at home and I was painting and drawing and reading. I found a very nice book to read. So enough about me. Now let's get to God, yeah? Now, speaking of God, right? Someone recently asked me, "Hey Adanna, what is God? And who is God?" And you know this other thing my friend asked me? My friend asked me, why do people call God the Alpha and Omega? Do you guys know why? Well, don't worry. If you don't know, this is what we're going to discuss today. So are you ready? Let's talk about God. Now, who is God? Can anyone tell me? I'm waiting. I'll give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So did you think about who God is? Well, easy, right? God is the creator of the world. God governs everything. He watches over everything. You know, He tells us what is right and what is wrong. He teaches us to be strong and listen to His word. He's what makes us amazing people. He is the person who forgives us, gives us life. But is that all that we can talk about God? Let's think. I think I can say that God is an eternal being, which means He's always there, right? And God, like we said, is a person who creates and preserves all living things and every creation He's ever made. For example, He can create a flower, alright? So therefore, He is a creator. He has created the flower. And He is also a preserver. He keeps the flower alive. He can keep the flower alive for forever if He wanted to, right? Good. So now that we got that clear, we understand what God is in simple terms. Now we go to the next part. Why do we call God the Alpha and the Omega? Let's think for a while. Alright kids, so now let's discuss about why people call God the Alpha and the Omega. Now we must first understand what the word Alpha means. The word Alpha means the beginning or the starting of a journey. Let me put this in an easier way for you to understand. For example, if your family today decided to go from your house to 𝘼𝙇𝙋𝙃 for a holiday, then your house would be the starting point of your journey. Your house would be Alpha and PD is your destination, alright? So Alpha or your house is the beginning of your journey, okay? So now let's discuss what Omega is. Like I said, you're going on a journey. You start from your house where you pack your bags and you travel all the way to 𝘼𝙇𝙋𝙃. So 𝘼𝙇𝙋𝙃 is the end of your journey or the end of the trail. So 𝘼𝙇𝙋𝙃 would be Omega. So you have Alpha and Omega. The start, the beginning, and Omega, the end. So repeat after me. Alpha, beginning. Omega, end. Let's do that one more time. Alpha is the beginning, correct. And Omega is the end. Awesome, see? Now you understand that. Now that we know what Alpha and Omega is, let's join the words. God is the Alpha and the Omega. In other words, God is the beginning and the end. Now, it's interesting that we call God the beginning and the end. Do you ever wonder why? Well, I'm going to give you a verse for that, and the verse is in John chapter 1 verse 1. In the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God and the Word was God. Did you get that? Let me repeat it for you. John chapter 1 verse 1. In the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. Did you get that? Now, what does John 1 verse 1 mean? Well, I have something here to explain that to you. Alright? So listen while I read this, okay? The Word was in the beginning. He, God, our Father, did not have a beginning. He was the beginning. The Word was with God. God was there in the beginning, and the Word existed with Him because God was the beginning. Alright? The Word was God. God and the Word are one of the same. And do you know what that Word is? That Word is Jesus. Alright? Jesus did not begin when He came to earth. He was there from the start because in the beginning the Word was with God and the Word was God. Right? Jesus was part of the creation of the world. Jesus was there when the world was created. The world was created through Him. When Jesus came to earth as a man, He came from God the Father, and He came to make Him known. Alright? And guess what? What Jesus is doing isn't the end. It's still continuing. As we grow in the world, as we walk through this planet and we see many people, we will come to realize that God's work is still carrying on in our daily lives. Every day, there's someone who tries to make God known to their friends, to their family. Alright? And God will be with them until the end. In fact, God will be with all of us until the end. He's gonna be there when I'm old. God was there when I was a baby. Same goes to you. God was there when you were a baby, and God will be with you until you're old. God will be with your children, your grandchildren, and your family after that. You see? God has no beginning and the end because God is the beginning and the end. He's the beginning of every single creation, and He's the end of every single creation. He's the beginning and the end of your and my life and the life of everyone in this planet. Do you truly understand, and can you truly realize how powerful and great our God is? Well, this is why we have this lesson here today. Now, I hope you finally understand why we call God the Alpha and Omega. I hope that you'll be able to teach other people about this. Approach your friends. You can even go and tell your parents, Mommy, Daddy, I finally learned why God is called the Alpha and Omega. And if you don't understand it, don't worry. Take your time. You have a lot ahead of you. Alright? So I hope to see you during the next Sunday school lesson. I hope you enjoyed this lesson today. I really, really do. And just have a good day, and I will see you next time. Bye!
From before the earth, even the dawn of time.